Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariprajagacharya Stottara Sata Sri Srimad Slavai Charanar Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Pratishtata Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Guru Vrinda Ki Sri Sri Radha Madhava Stasika Vrinda Ki Panchatattva Bhagavan Ki Prahlad Nrsimhadev Ki Samavita Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bo. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karati vachalam pangur langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitinamine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagra Gramatarine. Sound take ठीक हो जाए हैं काल का ठीक हो रहा साउंड का Hare Krishna. Is it's possible you can move a little forward if you have a back problem? I understand. The temple is so empty, it sounds like everything is very scattered. That's all. Very happy to be here. I think we were here some 2 years back in this temple. So for next few days, we will every day in the evening around this time, we will hear certain pastimes of the Lord which is related to our daily activities, devotional service. And then after that, we'll do some kirtan. So that's the plan. Today, we thought of sharing one pastime of the Lord. Of course, every pastime of the Lord, it has a deep meaning. The Lord comes here in order to teach the principles of devotional service. So this particular pastimes has a great significance. All of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, especially from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mangal, and Chaitanya Bhagavat, there are certain pastimes are described in great details, and some pastimes are given just some synopsis. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he explains that the glories of hearing Mahaprabhu's pastimes is that even if you don't understand what is it all about, it's okay. Even if you don't understand, the benediction is the same as who actually understands. That's quite different from the modern age. Say you are sitting for an examination and you have studied something, and the teacher is trying to explain something to you about some principles, and you do not understand anything. And you go on hearing this for 6 months, and you don't understand nothing. If you sit to give an exam, most likely you'll fail, because you heard it, but you haven't realized anything, you haven't understood anything. But hearing about the Lord's pastimes, especially Mahaprabhu's pastimes, is that even if you don't understand, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that you get love of Godhead. Jeva nahi buje ke ha, sunite sunite se ha, ki adbhut chaitanya charita. This is the greatness about hearing Mahaprabhu's pastime. And that's the amazement. The Krishna upajive priti, you will actually get love of Godhead. And sunilai badaha hita. Just hear. Because simply by hearing, you get the greatest benediction. And this is the best thing you can do for yourself, is just to hear. And it's something that the Lord has bestowed His mercy like this, that He comes, and there were certain fortunate souls that were there with the Lord. Then He left, He withdrew His pastime, and we can get the same benediction just by hearing as if you were there. So whatever benediction you could have gotten by being in Lord's pastime, by hearing this pastime, you get the same benefit. So that's why all our acharyas and Prabhupada emphasized on hearing. Even if you don't understand, it's all right. But you have to hear. You cannot sleep. You have to hear very attentively. And at the end of the class, of today's class, I'll read out something. The benediction that Vrindavan Das Thakur, because today we'll be discussing just one pastime. And so I think we'll try to observe more instead of so many small pastimes. We just stick to one. And at the end of the pastime, Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is not different from Vyasadeva, he actually gives the benediction, saying, those who have heard very attentively. And then he offers the benediction. So, while you are here, trying to listen to this pastime, try to be very attentive, because if we don't pay attention, then we lose it. That's why. So we have a lot of problems in our life, a lot of issues in our life, and here's the solution, not by me, but by Vrindavan Das Thakur. He gives the solution. You have a problem? Here is it. Just be patient for whatever, half an hour, 40 minutes that will take to complete this pastime. I'll try to simplify and not go too much into detail, but the basic principles we'll discuss. Try to remember certain important aspect of it, which will actually help each of us. It will help me while doing my service. I can meditate, and while you do your service, you also meditate on this. Whether you cook, whether you clean, whether you chant, whether you do deity worship, if we miss this principle, then there is no meaning. So that's why it's so important. So there was this very saintly person, extremely saintly, very, very austere. And these qualities of this person, it's something that it's very, very difficult for us to get that quality. So the first quality the Vrindavan Das Thakur explains is tapasya parayan. Means he is very, very austere. And he is nispap. He has not committed any sinful activities in his entire life. So first, he is very, very austere. Second, his nispap means he hasn't committed any sinful activities. And he is a saintly person. And he is a brahmachari. You cannot get better than this. And even though, I don't know if you're acquainted with Bengalis, but we were very attached to rice. And, not eating rice for a Bengali is like, whoa, something wrong with you. So even though he was a Bengali from Navadvip, he was not eating any rice because he was doing austerity. He wasn't taking dal, he wasn't taking vegetables, he wasn't taking fruits. So he wasn't taking any grains whatsoever. The only thing he was surviving on was milk. And for years and years and years, that's what he was doing. So he was a brahmachari, he was surviving on milk, he had not committed any sinful activities, and he was a saintly person. But unfortunately, he could not recognize Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord. And he had heard that Nimai Pandit was performing these amazing dances. He doesn't understand this, this kirtan and the holy name. But what attracted his attention was that all night long, because he was a great scholar, this person himself. So he heard that Nimai Pandit, he was a great dancer. And he have heard from other people that Nimai Pandit, he does amazing dances in the house of Srivas Thakur. And he just wanted to see this dance. So one day, he saw Srivas Thakur. So Srivas Thakur was the best person to approach because the Lord was dancing in his house. So he approached Srivas Thakur and he said, তুমি যদি একদিন কৃপা করো মোরে, আপনে লইয়া যাও বাড়ির ভিতরে. He says, please, if you could kindly take me to your home, and I would like to see the dance of the great Pandit. তবে সে দেখিতে পাও পণ্ডিতের নৃত্য. That I could see the dance of this Pandit. In this way, my life will be successful, and I would feel like finally my eyes have a meaning because I could see the Lord's dance. I mean, Srivas Pandit knew this person. He was a great personality. But he folded his hand, he said, I'm so sorry, I cannot take you. Because Mahaprabhu has instructed that only his very few intimate associates can join him in this program in the night. So I'm sorry, I cannot take you. So he said, please, please. He said, no, Lord's instruction, I cannot disobey. So he felt very sad, but he did not give up. The next day he saw Srivas Thakur, and next day again, he said, no, you have to take me. He says, no, I told you yesterday, I cannot take you. The Lord has not given permission. So like this, many days passed by, and every day he would see Srivas Thakur, every day he would beg. And Srivas Thakur realized, this person is a brahmachari. He hasn't committed any sinful activities. He's surviving on milk. And he's a saintly person. And he has a great desire to see the Lord. So why not? So when he approached again, he said, okay, I feel you should come in, but the Lord said no one can come in, so I will try to find a way. So what you do is, see, before the Lord comes, all the other devotees come. So you have to come before everyone. And I will hide you in some corner of the house, so the Lord will not be able to see you. At the same time, you can see the dance. So this brahmachari said, no problem. Whatever you say, I'll do it. So this brahmachari comes way before everyone, and he's hiding in the corner, and the devotees come, and Vrindavan Das Thakur says that there is Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, and Bhakteshwar Pandit, and so Murari Gupta Prabhu, so many exalted devotees. And this brahmachari sees that these great personalities, effulgent, amazing personalities, they come in, and he has seen these devotees before, but when they come into the house of Srivas Thakur, they immediately change, it seems, becomes, like very, very effulgent. A lot of effulgence is coming out. Then Nimai comes in. Nimai Pandit comes in. And when he comes, this brahmachari was stunned. Because this time, today, somehow or other, when the Lord walked in, he had this mood that he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord always, goes back and forth with this mood. Sometimes he will exhibit the role of a devotee, and sometimes he would exhibit the role of the Supreme Lord. He's the Supreme Controller. Today he came and he had that mood that he was the Lord. And, a lot of Shaktis were there. And the Lord began to dance and sing with all these amazing devotees. And this brahmachari was seeing, and he says, whatever I have heard before, it's nothing. This is, wow. He must be something. But he still doesn't realize that he's the Supreme Lord. And as he sees the Lord, he realizes that he must be the Supreme Lord. So in the middle of the kirtan, the Lord actually stops. He just stops the kirtan. And he looks at Srivas. So Srivas, I have a feeling, but I don't know. somehow or other I'm not getting the same happiness that I normally get. You know this better. Is anyone hiding in your home? Don't lie. Tell me the truth. Is anyone really hiding in your home? Srivas Thakur began to shake in fear because he was the person who actually brought him. Even though he knew the Lord did not allow anyone to come in. And Srivas Thakur actually did allow. So he was the person who did the mistake. So the first thing Srivas Thakur said, there is this very amazing saintly person who's a brahmachari, and he's a brahmana, and he only drinks milk, and he really wanted to see your dance. So it's true, my Lord. I'm sorry, but it's true that one person is inside and he's hiding. So the Lord thought Srivas Thakur was giving an excuse. He thought that Srivas Thakur really thought that someone can actually see me because he's a brahmachari, because he hasn't committed any sinful activities, because he was just drinking milk. Really? Srivas, that's what you think? To see me, you just need to drink milk? To see me, you just have to be a brahmachari? So Lord became very furious. He got extremely angry at Srivas Thakur. And he just told Srivas in a very angry mood, he says, take that, brahmachari who survives on milk out of this house right now. And Srivas Thakur was very, very worried and scared. But more than Srivas Thakur is that brahmachari, because that brahmachari heard everything, what the Lord was saying. So the Lord became very angry and he said, Mor nritya dekhite uhar kon sokte. Means like, all these qualities that you have expressed, Srivas, these are not, the essence. This is not the qualities to actually see me. You really feel, paipan korile ki mohe hoy bhakti, you really feel that just by drinking milk, one gets devotion to me. And then by this time, because Srivas was the one who was getting all the chastisement, so the Brahmana actually came out and he stood right in front of the Lord. And Mahaprabhu became, seeing him, he actually got more angry. And he started to chastise. He said, just by drinking milk, one will never get me. One will never achieve me. And then the Lord actually said something very amazing. He said that even if a dog eater is someone who's called Chandal. Chandal is a dog eater. So here was someone who hasn't committed any sinful activities in his entire life. He's a brahmachari. He's a brahmana. And he only survives on milk. So this is one hand. The Lord is comparing the other one with a dog eater. So he said, Chondaleo mohar saran jodi loy. Even if a dog eater surrenders to me, then he said, he becomes mine and I become his. Seho mor muitar janiho nischoy. Know for certain. Nischoy means for certain. Know for certain. Even a dog eater, if he becomes my devotee, he surrenders to me, then I belong to him. And then, that our acharyas have sung so many beautiful songs. Tomar hridaya sada Govinda Visram. It says, in the Lord's heart, Govinda, Lord Krishna, always resides. The Lord, he just emphasizes on that point, saying that even if a dog eater becomes a devotee, I belong to him, but not to you. And then he says, the sannyasi. First he talks about a dog eater, then he's talking about a sannyasi. Sannyasiya jodi more na loy saran. Even if someone is a sannyasi, but he does not surrender to me, and he is not a devotee of mine, seho mor nohe satta bolilu vachan. Mark my words. He is not mine. He will never ever get me. And then, just to poke him, the Lord, he said, oh, you're so proud of your pious activities, and you think that, you have done so many austerities, and, you're doing milk and, vegetarian and all that, So he said, really? Gajendra Banar Gop ki tap korilo. He says, what did Gajendra do? The elephant. What did the monkeys do? They got me. Bolo dekhi taha more ki tape pailo. How did they get me? Then he says, you think you are a great personality who has done so many austerities. So what? Even the demons, Asureya top kore. Asureya top kore ki hoy tahar. He said, even the demons, they do austerity. And he was talking about Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksha, they have, you see how many, I don't know how long they were standing in one leg. So is he talking about austerity? They have done more austerity than you. So, bina mor saran loile nahi paye. Unless someone fully surrenders, there is no question of getting me. And then he says, again he emphasized that just by drinking milk, you will not get me. And then he said, the Lord said at one point, he said, I will destroy everything. Meaning that Sakal korimu churna dekhi by ethai. Means I'll destroy everything, means that if you feel that you can get me by, by austerity, by brahmachari, by drinking milk and this, that, says I'll just destroy that whole mentality. So this brahmachari was standing in front of him, and the Lord kept on chastising, and there were so many exalted devotees. So he just didn't know how to respond. He just, after saying all this, Lord kept quiet to see what he does now. So he just paid obeisances, and he just walked out. Didn't say one word. But as soon as he walked out, this amazing realization that was revealed to him. He felt that এই মোর ভাগ্য বড় যে কিছু দেখিল. I must be the most fortunate. Whatever I have seen today, I must be very, very fortunate. Not only that, I got to see the Lord dance. Not only that, I also got the chastisement of the Lord. I am so lucky. If it was one of us, I think we wouldn't be coming to the temple again, But this brahmachari thought that I was the most fortunate. Not only did I get to see the Lord's pastime, but I also got to, to be rectified by the Lord Himself. Aparad onurup sastiyo pail. He chastised me. And adbhut dekhilo nritya adbhut krandan. I saw this amazing dance of the Lord. And I saw how He cries for Krishna. How is it possible that someone can cry like that? he must be Krishna to cry for Krishna like that. Otherwise, for a human, it is absolutely not possible. So, I got to see the dance, I got to see the cry of the Lord, and Aparad Onurup Pailu Torchan. He chastised me, he corrected me. Oh, I am so fortunate. So, with this attitude, he was just, so what do you think? He was happy or sad? Happy or sad? He was happy. He was happy that he could be chastised by the Lord. There was one time my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Goswami, he got a little bit, some chastisement from Prabhupada. And he wrote a letter to Prabhupada that your chastisement is your mercy. And Prabhupada was very pleased. So this is a stage of devotion of someone who is a little bit advanced. Because in advanced stage you can actually take it and rectify yourself. And so this brahmachari actually took it. So the Lord is the super soul in everyone's heart. So as soon as the Lord saw that this devotee actually took my chastisement in a very nice way, immediately the Lord told one devotee, go get him. So this devotee ran. He says, the Lord is calling you. I said, what? So he just came running. And he came, and this time when he came, now that, by the Lord's mercy, and actually by the mercy of Srivas Thakur, he just came and he just fell at the dust of the Lord's lotus feet. And the Lord, he was sitting in his, in his asana. And as soon as this brahmachari came, the Lord actually put his 2 lotus feet on his head. And all the devotees were like, what? They were surprised, but they all became ecstatic because they realized that this devotee has become the most fortunate. Look at him. He got the mercy of Srivas Thakur. He gets to see the Lord. He gets to be rectified by the Lord himself. And by that mercy and by that chastisement, all his impurities, all the egoistic nature that he had, oh, I'm a brahmachari, I'm this, I'm that, all just disappeared. And now here he comes and he surrenders, because the previous, what did the Lord say? He says, even a dog eater, if he surrenders, I become his. He surrenders, now the Lord actually accepted him. He put his 2 lotus feet on his head. So, Dakiya Aniya Puna Koruna Sagar Padapatma Dilatar Mastak Upar. And this brahmachari just went mad in ecstasy, because the Lord actually gave him love of Godhead. And he was just holding the Lord's lotus feet and he was just crying incessantly, because he really felt that, he was the most wretched, most unworthy person. And even then, the Lord actually bestowed his mercy upon him. So, he was very moved and he was just crying. And the Mahaprabhu actually picked him up and he hugged him and he bestowed his mercy upon this devotee. And then, everything calmed down a little bit, and then the Lord actually explained to him. He said, and this is very important for all of us, what he really said. He said, Prabhu bole, top kori na kori ha bol. He says, never ever become egoistic, thinking that, I'm a good chanter, I'm a good class giver, or I can actually cook nicely, or I can actually do deity worship quite artistically, or I can do this or I can do that. The moment you think like that, then we become doomed. And then Mahaprabhu says that Vishnu Bhakti Sarvashreshta Janyo Nischay. Please know that the highest stage is only devotion. That's all. It's one thing is what you do, but more important is how you do, with what mentality and what attitude and what approach you take to do the service. And that's what attracts the Lord the most. And the Lord actually preached to him that never think that tapa kori na kori ha bol. Bol means strength. So never think that my strength is chapa. Or my strength is this, my strength is that. Don't think like that. Just be very humble and try to do the service, whatever you do, in a proper mood. Then the Lord, after explaining these principles of devotional service, he saw how this devotee took the Lord's instruction. Then the Lord began to start the kirtan again, because this brahmachari actually came to see the kirtan, to hear the kirtan and to see the Lord's dance. So now the Lord actually fulfills the devotee's desire, and he danced with that devotee. Previously he was just trying to see, but now the Lord actually danced with that brahmachari. Now he is totally purified, and he danced with the devotee. So now the benediction. The Lord's pastime, this pastime actually ends here. So I see most of you, not most, all I haven't seen that side, but this I see everyone you have heard very attentively. I didn't see anyone sleeping. And Vrindavan Das Thakur actually gives the most amazing benediction to those devotees who have heard these pastimes. Shraddha kori je jon sunaye e rahasya. Shraddha kori means those devotees who have heard this attentively and with shraddha, with faith, with devotion. Gaura Chandra Prabhu tare milive avasya. So know for certain that person who has heard these pastimes, he will achieve the Lord. Just like this brahmachari. So because this brahmachari achieved, and the way he achieved, anyone who hears this pastime, and Vrindavan Das Thakur is very, not saying you may achieve the Lord. He says avasya means for certain. For certain you'll get Mahaprabhu. Gaura Chandra Prabhu tare milive avasya. For certain you'll achieve, you'll get the Lord. And he has the power. Can I tell you that for sure you'll get Mahaprabhu? I cannot, because I can only give something which is mine. I can say, for certain you can have my chadar. Yeah, I can do that. It's my chadar. Or for certain you can have my bead bag. Yeah, it belongs to me. Maybe my phone. But I cannot say, for certain you'll achieve Mahaprabhu, because but Vrindavan Das Thakur, yes, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Krishna se tomar tumi dite paro tomara sakati ache. Krishna is yours. And you have that Shakti, that power to give Krishna. Therefore, dhai tapa pache pache. Therefore, I am surrendering unto you. I am at your lotus feet. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is Vyasadeva. He is, Mahabhagavat, and so he has the right. He has the potency to give Krishna. So we heard this pastime. Now we'll try to practice this now, like right now. So what we'll do now for next kotakon gaibo? 9. So till 9 o'clock we'll do some kirtan now together with this mood of not I'm a good chanter or I'm something, but we'll try to sing with that mood. Is there any questions on this particular pastime we discussed? No? All right. You sit, we'll just do some kirtan now. So if you can come, you come tomorrow again, and right after Sandhya Arati, we'll discuss like this, one pastimes of the Lord, and we'll do some kirtan. You can do. Huh? Kalkar? Oh, I don't